So in this video, I'm going to show you how to get video quality like this when you travel. Let's get started. What's going on, everyone? David here. So I want to show you guys my travel studio. So I'm in Colombia right now. Show you guys the view here from my apartment, and also have a little balcony there. And I've shot video on the balcony as well as I have a studio setup. And so I want to show you guys the studio setup, and I'm going to go over all of the different items that I use when I travel. Now, when you're traveling, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit harder because you can't bring a lot of stuff to have like a YouTube studio. But this stuff works for me, and so that's why I'm going to share this with you guys, so hopefully it'll work with you as well. And so let me show you. And we're going to start over here on the right side, and we're going to work our way all the way down. And I'm going to talk about everything that I use when I travel. So, first thing, these these power banks. I use these all the time, and I use these to just keep my camera powered. And so I like to power my camera through a power bank. And the main reason for that is I'm not really confident when it comes to the outlets, if the current is right or not. And so I always just use a power bank when I want to do like long form video where I want to be able to power for longer than what the battery will allow me to do. So first thing, power banks. So I always bring those with me, and plus you can use them for a variety of different things, your phones and all that. Now this device here, this is a Wave XLR. Okay, the reason that I like using this one is because it's small. It's small. It's a mixer. It's for my Shure SM7B that I use. But you can get the much larger ones, and I have the larger ones at home. But this is so compact, it's so small, and it's only good for one XLR port, so you can't do like an interview or anything like that. But if you're just talking to camera, this is perfect for that. Another thing I like about this, and you see the light on here, and if I touch it, it will go red. See how it goes red? So that's mute. So that's good, so you can mute without having to do anything inside the computer. So, and this is it's powered basically, if you plug it into your computer, it powers itself through the computer, and it's a USB-C. So the Wave XLR, this is it's Elgato product. So let's go ahead and take a look. Shure SM7B, I take this with me everywhere I go. I have two of these. I have one at home in my main studio, and I'll bring one with me. It just, the audio that comes out of this mic is just amazing, so I will always use this mic. It's perfect. I use a little mouse here. It's a little travel mouse. I like these because you can flip them down. This is a Microsoft mouse, so this works really well when I'm on the road. We'll talk about the computer stuff later, or the software later, but I want to show you this. This is a Camlink. This is what I use to power my camera. So basically the way it works is you have this little device. It's a video capture card, and what it will do is it will turn your camera into a webcam. And so that's how I shoot my videos. I actually turn my camera into a webcam. I record everything on the computer, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So that's a device, a must-have device. Now you can also, because I'm using a Sony camera, I can also just use a USB-C cable and plug it right into the side of my computer, the USB portion. But this just works better for me. They do have software for Sony that will allow you to turn any Sony camera into a webcam. But I personally like using the Camlink. But if I'm in a bind, I also have that other option, and so that's always good. One of the things that I've learned when I travel is you always want to have redundancy. You always want to have two of everything. Just because something can go down, and if it goes down, you want to have a backup. Another thing I want to show you guys here is this Unisheen. This is a TV. And what I like about this is I can plug this in to a Fire Stick, which I have a Fire Stick in the other room that I use to watch TV and things like that. So I can also use a Fire Stick on this because it's a television. I can also hook this up to my computer and make this a second monitor, and I use it like that sometimes as well. And so it's just great. Another great feature, it has a record. So let's say I'm watching a video, I want to record it. I can just hit record there. It will record onto an SD card. I pull the SD card out and go ahead and put it in my computer if I want to do anything with that. So this is you have to have something that can record video. At least I do when I'm on the road. I want to be able to record video. If I see a video on YouTube and I want to record it, I can do that. There are other ways to record video on YouTube. VLC will allow you to do that, but this is just so much easier. And if I'm watching TV, if I'm watching a news program and I want to record a clip, it's so easy to do it on this. Also, this can record just video. So if I can plug this directly into my camera and I can record video, 1080p video, but I can record video on here as well as recording video on the camera. So if I want to have a backup, I can have a backup just by hooking this up directly to the camera. You can hook up two cameras. That's another thing. So let's say I'm not using my computer, but I want to monitor the video. I can have two cameras hooked up to this, and I can play that and record at the same time. Record at least one screen, or if I hit the modes and I have two screens up at the same time, I can record both screens. But for the most part, this for me is great because I can watch TV, I can do my research, I can record video, and then I can also use it as a second monitor. So that's what I like about that. Okay, so we've talked about the sound, we've talked about this device here. Now let's talk a little bit about the lighting. So when it comes to lighting, what I like using, and this is a newer, I think it's a newer product. I'll post the information on the screen, but it's an LED panel, okay? And the good thing about these LED panels, and there are a variety of different companies that make these, but what I like about them is you can just take it off and roll it up, okay? You can roll it up, so it's very compact. It's good for travel because of that. These little things here, this is just like a frame, and you take the frame apart and it's flat. I'll show you the package that I use to put everything in. And so this is very, very convenient, and it's bright. It's very bright. Now I have it shining, bouncing off the wall. It gives me a nice little soft light, and I use this setup mainly for nighttime. Okay, I don't use it for the day. If I'm using it for the day, I actually have to turn this around. That's why I have this shoot-through reflector, because I have to turn it around because it doesn't give me enough light, just because of the background. The background is very bright. So that's what I use there. And what I like, another thing I like about this device, this light, is it has a remote. So I can turn it up and down by using the remote, which I always like. Also, I didn't say this TV has a remote as well, so that's good. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the camera. So the camera that I'm using, this is a Sony A7C, and this is a great camera for travel because it's small. It's smaller than the regular A-series cameras. I have three Sony cameras. I have the A7S III, and I have this one, and then I have the A7R3. Okay, so this is a great setup, and not only is the camera great, but I also have a Sigma lens. This is a Sigma 35 1.2. The good thing about this lens is I can shoot this in any light. Any lighting situation, I'm fine with this lens because it's an f1.2. So I can, if I really was in a bind, I can use natural light. I can use natural light from outside, or if you have lights on the inside, I can use natural light. And all I'll need to do is just open it up to 1.2. Open up to 1.2, and you're going to get plenty of light in, even if you're in a room and there's not that much light. So that's why I like this. Is a universal lens that I can use for pretty much any environment. So that's the camera setup. Tripod is a Manfrotto tripod. It's a good one because I can flip it back, and it's very, very light. It's carbon fiber, so it works really well. Now you see this bag here. I put pretty much everything, so the tripod, the light stand, the light kit, all of that. The power supply for the light kit, all that goes in this little bag here. Okay, so that's easy for me to pack when I travel. I can put it in any suitcase. You can even put it in a carry-on piece of luggage if you wanted to do that. So that is pretty much it. Let's get around. I want to show you also the software that I use. So this is the software program that I use. It's called vMix, and what I do is I record directly to the computer. And so if I'm doing a live stream, I obviously can do the live stream on here. But what I like to do is I like to just record directly to the computer. But you have to have a fast computer. You have to have a gaming computer in order to do this. But I will record, and then once I've recorded, then I just edit. I can edit from there. I use Premiere Pro to edit, and that's pretty much the setup here. So in a nutshell, that's all the stuff that I use when I travel, and I can pack everything away, the computer, and I usually, with this Shure SM7B, I'll put that in a separate pack. But if I wanted to, if I was in a bind, I could have two of these little bags here and pretty much put everything in those two bags. One more thing I didn't mention, actually two more things. So I like these Lexar, for travel, I like these Lexar little, I don't even know what you would call it, but it's basically for your SD cards. So it will allow you to put SD cards in there. I use the micro SD cards, and this is great because it gives me 3 little ports, so I can plug it in, and I'll have all the. And now, I mean, these micro SD cards, they go up to 1 terabyte now. So I use these for everything. I'll use a little adapter if I need to use an adapter in order to plug it into a camera. But for the most part, that's what I'm using when I'm for my storage. And then one more thing here, I do have another computer, and this is the HP Spectre. What I use this for is I will use the NDI. So let's say, and I shot videos before where I'm showing you guys something and I'm writing on the screen and things like that. That's what I'm using this for, because I can just flip it up, flip it around, and I can use it as a tablet and just write on it. So that's what I use in those situations when you're seeing that. I'm using NDI, which NDI will wirelessly connect this to this computer, and you can see what I'm doing on this computer, on that computer, if that all makes sense. So that is it. That's my setup. That is how when I travel, that's how I have a studio when I travel. Now, one thing I want to say, when I travel, I don't like to bounce around a lot. So bouncing around a lot, yes, this gets old because you're gonna have to take this down, set it back up, take it down, set it back up. So what I like to do when I'm traveling is I like to go to one place and stay there for at least 30 days, and then go to another place and stay for 30 days. And that way it just allows me more time. I don't have to break this down every time. Now what I will also do, and I showed you the balcony here, I'll also shoot videos on the balcony. I'll just use my GoPro. So I just make it very, very simple. Use a GoPro, stand out in natural light, and you're fine. I can even stand right here, as you guys see, natural light, it's fine. I don't have to use any additional light. One more thing when it comes to lighting that I didn't mention is I also have another light here. This is a hair light. So if you're looking here, I'd be sitting here. I have one light here, and then I'll also have a hair light here. Now, if it gets too dark, I also have a reflector. Okay, so kind of like the shoot-through reflector here. I have another reflector. I can just put it on that chair, and it will get plenty of light. If it's during the day, which this setup I usually don't use during the day because this is just too bright. But if it is during the day, I can bring down the shades just a little bit, but still have the outside so you can see it. Bring down the shades a little bit, and then I can just, if you see right here, you can see perfectly fine. And if I turn the light on enough and I have it directly at me, on me, then it will give me what I need. But it just looks so much better at night. So that's why I like to shoot at night. But getting back to this light, this is my hair light. And this is an Aputure, I don't know the exact number of this, but I bought this like in a kit. There's like 4 of them that come in a kit. And I just use this little battery. This is actually a grip, but it's a battery as well. And I can just plug that in if I want to do that, or the way I have it now is just plugged directly in to the wall. And so that's what I use just for a little bit of a kick, a little bounce light there. And so that's good. You could also use this little light for a fill light. So if I have a setup here and I have this setup here bouncing off the wall and I have shadow over here and I'm not using a reflector, I can put that light just up here in front of me and just a little bounce, little fill light, so you don't look too dark on one side and bright on the other. So that's it. Just wanted to show you guys that real quick. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. I'll be posting more videos when it comes to just shooting YouTube videos and things like that, but I just wanted to show you my setup, and this is the setup that I use. That's it. Just wanted to show you guys that real quick. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.